Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. We are here today with Cheryl Philomely with ShieldIQ. We are also here with Alan Woody Reeves from ShieldIQ and Nathan Neal with Launch UX. How's everyone doing today?
Marvelous, Scott. Thank you for having us.
That's awesome. So, Nathan, we'll start with you. You are in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Is that correct?
I'm in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. We're about 10 miles from the Maryland border.
Okay.
So we're not too far away from Maryland there. Not too far away from Philadelphia or Pittsburgh either. So we're kind of in a happy medium spot.
That's awesome. What's the weather like today? What's the temperature?
Cold.
Cold?
I mean, we're probably in the 30s.
All right. Well, a little colder than here. We're about 48 in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Alan and Cheryl, y'all are both in the same place, right? Nashville, Tennessee?
That's right.
Okay. How's the weather in Nashville?
Sunny and 55.
Okay. That's a little better than where we are. So, not
it's
too
not
bad.
That last long, but yeah, it's beautiful today.
All right. Well, I think we're here today to talk a little bit about this awesome program that y'all have launched called ShieldIQ, an identity theft protection that MSPs can resell to their clients with a recurring revenue stream.
That is correct. There's a little bit to it. It'll be, high level casual conversation. And since we met in December, we took the opportunity to better the offering a little bit and clarify the messaging a little bit. There's a lot in motion, and there is a crap ton in our roadmap. And one of the things that we wanted to do that everybody was asking for was get 2FA working properly for the end users, implemented, tested, and working properly. And we've done that since. That's a feature that's come into play. We've added some other things as well as we've gone and started to build this out. And, we're taking it to other organizations besides IT companies too, but we built it based on the need that we saw in ours. So,
and tell us a little bit about that need a little bit more. Go into that for those who don't know about it yet. What caused you to build this out?
So probably around 2015 or 2016, we had a chiropractor client in our MSP, and they're a large chiropractor. They're about 25 employees.
Okay.
Which is big for that vertical. And we had their network really quite solid. We had BDR, firewall. We had them on an elite plan. Everything was great. They never called us, which is always good. Everything was just so. And one day, the primary owner, woke up in the morning and was missing tens of thousands of dollars out of the business banking account. And what had happened, Scott, is somebody had hacked his Hotmail account.
Okay.
And they had lurked in there. They pulled like an Office 365 style hack and figured out who was who in this guy's life, and tricked somebody into wiring somebody else money overseas. And we had a conversation right after that, where he basically said, I understand that this was my personal account. I understand that he said, I understand that it's not your fault, but he's like, I look at you as my technology partner and my technology provider for answers. And so what do I do with this now? I didn't have an answer. I didn't have one that I liked. And then right around that same time, because we still, we do business IT, but we still do consumer. We still do residential. We do it on subscriptions. We don't do hardly any break fix. Like that's less than 1% of our revenue. But we had banks and credit unions just start sending people to us that had let somebody into their computer, that had suffered some sort of financial breach. Their online banking had been shut down until they could get their technology looked at. Their website had been hacked. That's part of why Nathan's here. The website had been hacked and the credit card number stolen. So their merchant services provider shut down their ability to process anything for their store, their website, in-house terminals. They couldn't do anything until they had their act cleaned up. We even had we even had some people on social media sending us leads because people would get their dumpster stolen from in front of their house. Like people would roll their dumpster down to a different street, dump it, grab, junk mail out of it, perform identity theft. And these neighborhood associations like, well, Mouse Calls does tech stuff. Go over there. Maybe they'll know what to do. But I didn't have a strong answer. And so I started looking into partnerships with some of the big players in this space, names that you would know. And I really did not like what I was finding because they weren't loyal. They weren't business friendly. I would look and see, if I get an affiliate link and Nathan signs up through it and he does an annual plan, well, I get a little bit of a commission, a little bit.
Okay.
But if he renews, I don't get anything. Like there's nothing in it for me except this little one-time residual. And that didn't make it worth it at all. Like I remember one credit bureau, especially that I tried to engage with, and their commission was around 3% one time. And I just came to realize that if I wasn't doing this on a massive scale, it just wasn't worth my time. And not only that, there are a lot of these companies that have data and personnel overseas.
Okay.
And I wasn't comfortable with that at all from a compliance standpoint. Like I'm sitting here, and I didn't have it clear in my head at first about what this was going to be. Like all I was doing is looking for another layer in a stack to protect my clients and maybe generate revenue, or, like the next time this happens, who do I recommend, or who do I, who can I in good conscience engage with? And, to be honest, I went through this for about 1.5 years. Cheryl helped out, and we just didn't find anything that we were at ease with or was worth our time.
Okay.
These companies, and there are quite a few out there, but at the same time, it just wasn't, I'm real big on my own brand. I'm real big on promoting, something that I can be proud of, something that I can co-brand, something that people will associate with Mouse Calls or something along that line. And there was just nothing out there, once we referred somebody away, that somebody was going to sign up and then we'd be forgotten, and
You got that one-time fee and that was it.
That one-time fee. And on the high end, we found that to be like 17 to 20% of the revenue. But again, it was not recurring. There wasn't anything recurring. And I take that back. There were one or two, but the percentages were so low to where it's just, you do better on Apple hardware with the percentages that those guys were giving out. So none of these were really great. And so my brain got to doing what it does and thinking about what does this look like in a perfect world? And it could be our brand, or it could be, something that at least we were able to monetize or create recurring revenue for us out of. It would have to be 100% in the USA. It would have to have, military grade encryption is a starting point.
Gotcha.
This has got to be like rock solid. And so this is, circa late 2017 into 2018, this is just, it's in the back of my mind. Like, on the weekends, I'm catching up on LinkedIn or some such. I'm just seeing, I'm doing my due diligence. I'm seeing what's out there, and I still don't have an answer. And during that time, we get more and more referrals, from, and it could be anywhere. I mean, we in the Nashville area, we get, First Tennessee Bank in the Green Hills area, 10 miles away, would send somebody to us. We'd get somebody, SunTrust in Brentwood would send somebody to us. We would get, recently we got a high income focused financial management firm that works with well-to-do people managing their money and their businesses. They were looking for a partner because these people are asking, how do we get more secure? How do we protect our networks in our homes? How do we protect our smart homes? And so,
how do we keep it from happening again?
Yeah, we're getting these things. And so, again, I was like, okay, well, what do we do here? What's the answer? And so I kind of stumbled into a group that had somebody that was pretty proactive that gave me a lead to a lead. And
Okay.
I ended up introducing myself or knocking on the door of a gentleman who is associated with a company, an organization of developers that builds these type of solutions, typically for mid-markets and enterprise entities. Just to give you an example, when I was looking at, how could I spin this up for myself? Hand to God, I had a conversation with someone at one of the 3 credit bureaus because they can facilitate this for you. And my quote was a 3-year contract at a minimum spend of $25,000 a month.
Okay.
Well, again, it's one of those things where how do I do this? These guys operate at scale, and I'm
Sure.
just not at that scale. And I'm thinking there have to be more companies like mine where people want this solution. But again, what does this look like at the end of the day? So anyway, I ended up talking to this guy and I said, look, I'm small potatoes, but here's what I would like to do for my client base. And I have reason to believe that there's plenty more IT companies out there that could use this. And, maybe if we could figure out a path, I don't know. And I was just kind of talking like maybe at scale, we could have something to take to market. And to my very pleasant surprise, they gave me the time of day. And basically it was, okay, well, there is going to be a cost. I mean, if you want to really do this, there's going to be an upfront cost. And then we have to host the data and all that. They said, why don't we do a proof of concept for your customers? So we agreed to do this, and we spun it up in late spring of 2019. In the late summer of 2019, we had, with Nathan's help, we had built a website around it. And let me see, actually, what I'll probably do is just pull that up and show you real quick.
Sure.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So what I'm going to show you is actually still live, but it was just sort of our proof of concept. Can you see this okay?
Yeah. All
right. So we have CyberWatch brought to you by Mouse Calls, and people could go here. And again, it's a decent looking site. We didn't want to spend a crazy amount on it, but it works. We could direct our customers to it, walk them through the process, and then sign them on. So in any case, we decided to offer it to 100 of our VIP consumer customers, our higher paying consumer customers that are on subscriptions. I anticipated that if we had a 25% sign up rate, that was doing pretty well. And to our happy surprise, we had over 50% sign up. A lot of those that did not sign up already were on a competitor's service, but they said, hey, I'm with you guys. Mouse Calls is my go-to. If you tell me to do something or Cheryl tells me to do something, that's what we're going to do. So when this subscription runs out, I'm going to sign up for yours.
Okay.
Great. Okay. So then, of course, as we're trying to kind of figure out what this really is and how we can work within this framework and talk about what the IT space really looks like, with me taking the solution and going to market, helping build a footprint. COVID hits, of course, and everybody just kind of goes on hiatus, figuring out what's going to go on for 6 to 8 months. And then we started cranking it up again late in 2020. And by that time, we had solidified a lot of what this could be. And we had created a company to provide the service. Then I had a talk with Scott Sanders a year ago this month. And Scott, I'll never forget it. You loved the concept. You loved what you saw, but you blew a hole in it. And it's something he did, folks. It's something that I had not thought of. And that was, Scott said, and he said, I don't mean this to be deprecating. I don't mean this to sound bad. I don't mean it to sound any certain way. He said, but we've got a lot of people in the group that have a lot of great businesses and they're small. And, you know, for example, mouse calls, we're a small business. And if we start offering mouse calls brand identity theft protection, well, there's not, you've got to be a pretty big established name to be able to pull that off with pure street credibility. Otherwise, people are going to think, what are they offering here? Like, is the server in your garage, or, like what?
They're just not going to take it serious.
Right. Like, what am I really signing up for? Well, understand that by this time, we've got a full business plan together with the developers, and it was really like, okay, I'm going to get some exclusivity in this space and be able to take this product, take what we've built to technology companies. So what do we need to do to really facilitate that need? How do we fix that problem? How do we give the technology companies a way to provide something that works and has the street credibility? So I'm going to back up just ever so slightly here. And now I'll share my screen again. So what we did was we actually built a national brand. If you go to ShieldIQ.com, you will see the website there. And we built in some very special things that are unique to the IT space. And this is where I'm going with this. So if you will roll with me here, I'm going to stop this share. We've got really two different ways and two different business models for the IT space. One of them is truly going live a week from today. Now, again, I'm going to go here and I'm going to kind of jump all over the place. So again, it's an individual identity theft protection, dark web monitoring, credit monitoring, and more. Our competitor, the competitors, their names. So,
and your competitor would be like LifeLock.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. It's the same type of service where it's identity theft protection, it's credit monitoring, it's dark web monitoring, but it's for the individual. It's like what we call antivirus for people. So the affiliate model is just that. All right. I want to become an affiliate with ShieldIQ. And there have been a lot of different things going on leading up from December when we met last to this point. For example, we have a radio network that is launching ShieldIQ commercials on that very same day. So this hasn't been just an ITBOG thing. It hasn't been, it was created because of a need I saw from my IT company, but we are going much bigger than that. And at the same time, we wanted to create something unique for the IT community so that not only would they get Never Found, which is recurring commission, but they could get services that also promoted their business and our partnership in a way that's never been done that I've ever seen. So there goes my throat again. Pretty much anyone that wants to be an affiliate can be. So we're going to be looking at doing affiliate marketing programs with this product. However, just like, you know, most affiliate programs, the commission is going to be at affiliate program levels. With IT companies, we're doubling that. Just because this is where we came from. This is where we were born, so to speak. The technology partner network we're building is unique in the industry for identity theft protection. So here's where I'm going with this. There's probably 10,000, 20,000, maybe more people a day that are subscribers to competitor services, like the one you just mentioned. And maybe they did get hacked. Maybe their email's been breached. Maybe somebody, you know, they let somebody in their computer. You think a standard or a traditional identity theft protection entity is going to be able to help them with that? They don't have anybody even refer them to. They don't even know where to start with that. So what we're building is the ShieldIQ Technology Partner Network. And that will give your IT company visibility on our website and a whole lot more, which you're about to see. And I mentioned commissions are double for IT companies. Now, not to muddy the waters, not to create confusion here, but I know dang well, because it was my original intent, there's a lot of people, probably all of the B2B companies, all of the, you know, there's so many of us that don't do consumer, pardon me, they don't do residential. They're just pure business to business. But they would like to be able to offer this to their customers. They'd like to be able to go into a prospect and say, hey, not only can we manage your networks, not only can we do your backup, not only can we manage your cybersecurity and provide you firewalls, but okay, you got 40 employees. We're going to cover every one of them with $1 million in identity theft protection, underwritten by AIG. And also basic dark web monitoring for their social and an email address. If they want to upgrade it, fine, they can do it on their dime, but we're going to build that into your IT and cybersecurity suite. Okay. So
I see. So they can almost like include it in their stack, so to speak.
Exactly. The co-brand and reseller model, which I've got here, is where the IT company would buy from us direct and then just pass those licenses along in a bundle or some other system. The affiliate model is where you are sending people to ShieldIQ, they're subscribing, and you're getting a residual. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So we're going to have all of the above. And the affiliate model goes live, like I said, next week. After we have the radio network, like I said, that's going out. I want that just tight as a tick. And then we're going to go with what we have here. Also, API access. We will be able to, we've written the API, we'll be able to provide that access to software developers, to anybody that's got a SaaS platform that wants to integrate with our system to create, pings for email breaches, which frankly, we've already got that going. We've got all of this is tested and it's operational. It's just a matter of really how to take it to market and making sure that we're protected and loose ends are tied up. But if any package that would need to ping for data or could leverage data in this way, we have the ability to do that as well. And then also with the co-brand and reseller model, if you have a client, and Scott, I know you had mentioned a while back, you got a couple of insurance companies that you support. Mm-hmm. They might be very interested in being able to offer something like this to their client base. And yes, it would generate a little revenue stream to them. And yes, if you got our foot in the door with them and they signed on, then we would carve out a piece for you.
And so theoretically, take that for instance, if you sold it to two insurance companies and then they turned around and sold it to their clientele or client base, those who wanted it, you could technically get a residual off of all of the above.
That's correct.
I love it.
Now, I'm flying through pieces of this that, I really kind of addressed earlier on. Well, just a couple of things for those that are curious. The dev team that we utilized are former Department of Defense contractors. And like I said, they have built these solutions for other organizations. Just so you know that this is not insecure code or something that was built from complete scratch. There's elements of this code that are already protecting 1.5 million people in the country right now and have been, for years. And it's being tightened and hardened all the time. What we hired them to do was build our version, but that core code is the same. And it's all being watched and monitored. Multi-layer proprietary encryption is leveraged. The primary one was born out of one of those Department of Defense projects. It's in transit and at rest. So we have all this in a security statement. Every piece of it, every dev that touches every single piece down to the hardware, down to the cabling is within the continental 48 states. If you are outside of the United States, you cannot log into the system. And that's just, you just get an error. Doesn't really tell you why, but we're watching the kitchen. Now, the technology partner network. I'm kind of jumping ahead to that. What you're seeing is an example of what this will look like. Right now, there are 2 total companies. There's mine, Mouse Calls, and Nathan Neal's MSP, which you can see right here. The grand vision here, folks, is not to look at 2 pinpoints on a map. The grand vision is your IT company can be part of the technology partner network. You can be on this map that gives you visibility. It gives you incoming, possibly even lead generation. And follow my logic here. If you do consumer IT, if you still work with consumers and residential, then if you have a subscriber that could use your services as part of a hack or a cleanup, then our representatives have someone to send them to. Boom. Right there.
Well, let's go ahead and put another one in Columbia, South Carolina, because I'll go ahead and take that seat.
I will get you signed up today. Absolutely.
We'll have a perfect triangle.
Yeah, we'll get it started. And so, yes, there is a cost. I'll go through all that. What I want to do is also let people know how to reach us, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the radio station off the ground, or the radio network off the ground. For everybody that's interested today, for everybody that's interested in everything we're talking about today, I'm going to give you the service for free. I'm going to give you a family installation of the service. Now, Scott has been on the Mouse Calls version of this for a few months now. And so what's your experience overall then, Scott?
It's a lot like what we're used to seeing from the other major big brands. I think the back end is pretty much the same as those, right?
It pretty much is. There are, like I said, there are some established players in the field.
Sure.
Out there where I'm sure that the underlying code is similar.
Right.
That they built it for. But usually these guys, and they're a fantastic group. They're an expensive group. They're a fantastic group. But they typically work with an entity like, let's say that like Chase Bank wanted to offer ID theft protection to their customers. Okay. That's typically who they're working with. They're not really building this for a consumer direct solution or a company like what we're doing. We're an outlier here. And they're enthusiastic because they do see the potential in what we're doing, and they've been extraordinarily gracious and been over backwards to accommodate us with a lot of things, especially the development cycle for a lot of this stuff. They're just great human beings all around. But Technology Partner Network is this. We're taking this a couple of steps further though, because what really hits home your relationship with ShieldIQ, besides the fact that, hey, I'm recommending this product, right? Well, what can ShieldIQ, what can ShieldIQ do for you? You know, like, that's a big question. So we did some brainstorming, and I think you'll like this, Scott. I don't believe you've seen this yet.
Okay.
But what we decided to do was partner up with a marketing agency, and it's an exclusive partnership wherein we can provide authority marketing services to our affiliates and to folks in our technology partner network. Now, what does this really mean? Well, we looked at a lot of marketing companies, and the messaging was very generic. It wasn't what's the real world. It wasn't specific to what we were trying to do or specific to where a partner might be.
Okay.
Now what do I mean by this? Well, we wanted something that could be, we wanted to be able to promote our affiliates and our partners in a way that would be an extraordinary value for them. Like where they would look at this and go, my gosh, I would do this even if ShieldIQ wasn't in the mix. But the fact that they are may get more eyes on my business. So in any case, we found, after doing some research, we found a marketing company that we contracted with that is owned by a former television news producer who has worked in small markets and large markets. And she has lived and breathed that life. She has swum in those waters, and she knows the different tactics as to how to get the attention of different media in different markets. Now, one of the things that we have as part of your onboarding options, should you become a partner, is this. We can send press releases on your behalf to your local media. I'm not talking like a Fiverr gig. I'm not talking like something that you would find on Freelancer. I'm talking, this is a custom written press release, and this company will take a look at your market. If you are in Columbia, South Carolina, okay, they're the X biggest demographic in the country, X biggest city. Here's the demographics. Here's how many TV, print, radio media we have. This needs to be written this way.
Okay.
If you are in New York City, we have to work much harder to get their attention because they're bombarded with everything. So that has to be delivered in a certain way to get the attention of the television stations, to get the attention of the radio stations. They have everything come across their desk all the time. Now, I'm going to pick on Nathan just because he opened up the can of worms at the beginning of the call. If you're in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, the media is nowhere near the size, nor is it anything culturally like New York City. And so it's easier to get attention because they don't get as many press releases, but these can be customized for Chambersburg and the Chambersburg media, knowing the demographics, knowing the market size. So what ShieldIQ will do is get a media list of your local media, not just throw it out there on the internet and say, hey, you know, congratulations, we've submitted your press release. That'll be $500, and you should be seeing a lot of SEO traffic come from it. This is not what that's meant to be. This press release is meant to promote the fact that you are your region's ShieldIQ affiliate. ShieldIQ is a national company offering identity theft protection, dark web monitoring, credit monitoring. You are an authority in your area as an IT professional, and you've partnered with ShieldIQ. We're happy to announce this partnership, but you are uniquely positioned to speak to consumers about identity theft, how to keep safe online, personal cybersecurity, cybersecurity for your business, how to keep your employees safe. This is trying to get you interviews. This is putting little pieces out there that present you as an authority in your market. Now, when we onboards you, you have the option for $200 to do a one-time customized local press release. The average cost of doing this professionally is, like you can see above, typically between $500 to $800 to do it right. We get a list, a current local media list. And by that, I don't mean like info@wxyz.com. I mean like the news director's direct extension. We get the news editor, the night editor, the morning editor, their individual email addresses. We buy this list for your market, up to 30 print, TV, and radio. And that's who we blast it to. And we don't send it through a service. We send it from us. We send it from press@ShieldIQ.com. We also give you the ability to upgrade that and get a snail mailed press release, which, you know, depending on the market, depending on who you're sending it to, some people will be receptive to that, some people won't. But also, you have the option for $750 a year. We're going to be watching for news stories that are relevant. And the examples that I've chosen here are like Log4j. That was all over the news. The Equifax breach of a few years ago, people still talk about that. Now, how cool would it be if your IT company was sending out press releases saying, hey, so-and-so with, you know, Scott Sanders is uniquely qualified in, you know, South Carolina to talk to your station, talk to your reporters about what this means to the average person. Not only that, he is the only company in his region that can provide both the technology support and security, but also personal protection, as well as a $1 million policy for each one of the subscribers.
So
That's
how many
pretty cool.
people can jump in a certain geographical area? Like how many IT businesses in the same city? Is that possible? Or
that's a good question. We have built in, and it's first come, first serve.
okay.
But we have built into the sign up form, which again will go live next Tuesday. And I'll be communicating with everybody that's interested.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to have an upgrade. That is an annual fee that guarantees a certain geographic exclusivity.
Okay.
And that will be typically, it depends on, it's going to depend on where you are. But for example, Scott, with your city, it's probably a 25 or 30 mile radius. You know, if it's New York, if you've got an IT company on Manhattan, you know, and you want that geographic exclusivity, it's going to be about the same. It'll probably be about a 10 mile radius because there's plenty there. We'll have that ironed down and tightened up. Long story short, if you want to corner the market in your area, yes, we're empowering you to do that.
Excellent.
And then on top of that, the marketing company has also created an offering for custom blog posts for you if you would like to avail yourself of that. These are custom written for you, and social media posts that can be done on a monthly. You can take these or leave these, but they're putting them out there as part of the add-ons you can get for being a ShieldIQ partner. And then on top of that, I'll just go down through these and I'll open this up for Nathan, but we've partnered with LaunchUX because we knew that we were going to need some web infrastructure, including customized landing pages for the partners. And we've been working with Nathan for a long time. And that was just a non-starter, no-brainer. Like, here, this is our guy. So Nathan's been working with us for about 6 months on this. And Nathan, if you want, I'll let you just kind of talk to each point here.
Sure. So when you join the ShieldIQ network, you don't have to worry about customizing your existing website or making changes to your existing website. By default, when you sign up, you are provided a ShieldIQ affiliate page. And what's beautiful about that is it has all of the ShieldIQ branding with your branding. And the verbiage where it would normally say our tech partner network would say, for example, mouse calls. So ShieldIQ with mouse calls. So it's very specific to your brand with your logos, but everything fits in with the way ShieldIQ registrations work. The pricing, signups, everything like that works like it would on ShieldIQ.com, but it's your own affiliate page that is specific to you and your branding. So you could link that to your website if you wanted to put it in the menu. You could put that in your social media posts, whatever you would want to do, just like as if you were an Amazon affiliate, you provide those links, and then you get the credit for those signups you get through your affiliate page. And it's a really easy way to get selling right off the bat without having to worry about investing time and money into building out the store, if you will. You already have it. It's already part of what you get when you sign up as a ShieldIQ affiliate. The other thing we can do with existing websites, and these things would have added fees, and what I would recommend personally is if you're getting started with it, run with the affiliate links, get started, build some cash flow, get that residual coming in, and then build into your website and add the affiliate links and build in the landing pages and modify your existing website. That, of course, costs some extra. That's some additional development that you would have to cover. But the other thing is, like Alan had presented earlier, the cyber, I forget the name of the URL, Alan.
Cyberwatch.tech.
Cyberwatch.tech. And that's going to be down the road. You could have your own branded, not ShieldIQ, but whatever you want to call it, your own product. Yeah. So Alan will bring that up. So that's going from the affiliate landing page the whole way to you having your own co-branded product. So there's a whole bunch of scale on what you can do there. And this is also something that we can embed, is this email breach check into your website, which is basically a widget that goes out there and looks to see if your email has been breached. And you can see all of these different websites, and when they're, man, Alan, your email's out there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm afraid to put mine in there now.
This is why I eat my own cooking. I have our protection package, but the big kicker with that is
that's a quick way to sell. You type in your email address. 99.999% of people are going to have a long freaking list of breaches that their email were involved in. And oh snap, I need to sign up with Scott Sanders. He's a ShieldIQ affiliate, and get my membership to cover my identity. Everybody needs this product.
Now, let me jump on that real quick. I'm going to extrapolate on what Nathan just said, because there are sites out there, and we all know of sites where you can take your client, or you, on behalf of your client, you can check for an email breach. What happens when you do that? All of a sudden, you've added them to a drip marketing campaign, and some of these products are trying to sell services that are competing against you. If you provide, for example, a password manager to your customers, well, maybe all of a sudden that breach check site that you used is trying to push you into a password management product. This technology does not do that. This is tied to your brand. It's not going to go anywhere else. It's not going to be sold. They're not going to start getting solicitations from other sites to subscribe to security products that might take that attention away from you.
I like that. And this is within your own ecosystem. So I've signed up for other products. And I mean, this is the same across the board, but in websites where I've signed up for a product for a specific need, maybe a backup. And all of a sudden, then they're trying to sell me SSL certificates or security products, or then they partner with another provider and they become an affiliate and they send out these email blasts, and they're trying to capture as much as the market as possible. With ShieldIQ, they are your customers. And that's why the branded landing pages are very nice. Your customers can be comfortable knowing that, yeah, they have the national brand of ShieldIQ protecting them, but they have your local brand there ready to help if something would happen. And so that's, where that all comes together. But yeah, the email breach check, I think, is a great thing to implement. And again, like the cyberwatch.tech, it was on there and I forgot what it is. You could do your full branded if you wanted to have, IT Business Owners Group, identity protection. That's a long domain. But
ITBOG, ITBOG
I,
identity protection.
ITBOG ID, whatever you would want it to be, you could do that, and you could do that branded. But I also like to build in a certain proponent of consulting in with the work that we do. And I think for a lot of your MSPs out there and your smaller shops that are getting set up, run with the affiliate landing pages, start pushing the product, and then pursue a full integration in with your website. And I think that's a practical solution to, one, start getting subscribers, build up the revenue, and then get ready to really blast off, if I can use a space pun, to accelerate that volume. But it's an exciting program, and I really see endless possibilities with it. And there's not a lot of programs where you register that you get your own affiliate landing page that you can just link to already with your branding, your name, and your information. So again, customizations are available. You can pay for those. But out of the gate, Alan and the team at ShieldIQ is providing you with a lot of resources out of the gate that he's graciously paying us for. So thank you, Alan.
Absolutely. And then just to kind of clarify a little bit, like with ShieldIQ, and especially down the road when we have sort of what I call the downstream model, like you said, Scott, like if you see a company that you're providing IT services for, and maybe they would want to offer this to their customers, maybe this would be a good fit for them. Well, who does that look like? Well, right out of the bat, credit unions. Mm-hmm. Okay. I know for a fact that over the course of last year, our dev team was approached by about 3 or 4 IT companies. And these IT companies had credit unions that were interested in providing identity theft protection and this kind of solution, and asked their IT company, what would this look like? Like, you're our tech guys. Can you advise on this? And the startup costs to do it they just made it nonsensical, so it was just sort of left twisting out there. What we've been able to do, though, is build something where that threshold, that cost threshold that they would otherwise have to overcome to even get started, goes away. So we can, if you bring us a lead, like you're supporting a credit union, they want to be able to offer identity theft protection. Folks, it doesn't even have to be under the ShieldIQ name. We can white label it in their organization if they want. That we have a lot of ways to massage the platform. So credit unions right out of the gate, they're independent, they're small, they're always looking for ways to add value. How cool would it be for a credit union that's regional or some such to be able to offer identity theft protection, credit monitoring, everything else to their customers with their branding? And because you brought that lead to us, you're getting mailbox money on that every month. You're not doing anything except continuing to support their IT. Security and alarm companies. This is one thing that's jumping off the page at me. A local alarm company. Well, they're getting hit from all sides by like Simply Safe and Ring and these other competitors. They want to add value to their existing offering. That'd be a pretty cool thing. Hey, you can get our monthly alarm monitoring with family identity theft protection now. So that's an option. Realtors and real estate companies. When realtors sell a house, they always give the home buyer a gift. Maybe it's a welcome mat. Maybe it's a welcome home print to go up on the wall. Well, how cool would it be if instead of that, you give them a year of identity theft protection with the real estate company's branding on it, so that once a month they're getting touched by that real estate company, even though the house was bought a year ago. And when it's time to renew, they renew. And the real estate company gets a little piece, you get a little piece. it's great. Auto dealers, regional banks, financial management, financial advisors, all could benefit from offering this to their client base. Insurance companies can offer it as an employee benefit if they wanted to. That's another totally different angle that nobody thought of here. And then nonprofits, nonprofits that want to provide some extra value to their members, and homeowners associations. There's some big homeowners associations out there. Like think of Del Webb, for example, those 55 plus communities. Well, those people pay association fees. How cool would it be to be able to go to every Del Webb in the country and say, hey, you have this opt-in for discounted identity theft protection and dark web monitoring and credit monitoring. So these are all examples of organizations that could benefit. And then what I will ask people to do is this, and this is how it'll flow. Just email me, a.reeves@shieldiq.com, and let me know if you are interested. Do that anytime in the next, I don't know, next few days. I will be back with you within 24 hours of the time that you email me, and I will give you your free service so that you can sign up on our dime and experience the service. See what it's like, experience the reports. One thing that is a little bit unique about ours is I can't really use this in marketing, and I'm not going to go into the reasons why, but I like to say that we have light web monitoring as well. Nathan can speak to that. I think, and forgive me, you were refinancing, correct? Is that right?
Yeah, I refinanced my home. I mean, the interest rates were incredibly low. And this was right after Alan had got me set up to try out the platform. And I was getting all of those notifications during the refinance process. And I left it as it was, so that way I could see what would happen. And those notifications came in, and it was incredible. It picked it up. It got it. So the situation works and the platform works. And I thought that was really exciting. And I have my whole family on it. And so my wife, of course, was also receiving those notifications. So, of course, we knew we were refinancing, but had somebody had my social security number and was taking out, a massive loan in my name, I would have known about it and could have, if Alan was Mouse Calls helped me out, I could have contacted them and got the situation sorted out with my affiliate and with ShieldIQ. So, yeah.
So it'll pick up things like that. Like if we had a tester who wrote in and said that she had gotten a COVID test, not a rapid test, but gone to an urgent care center, and just a few hours later she got an alert that her personal information had passed through LabCorp because she had a COVID test. We have a beta tester out west in Nevada who let us know that he was really pleased. He signed up for a new life insurance policy and got a ping from the system that his personal information had passed through XYZ company. And if this was not him, to maybe give us a call. So there's always that messaging that reinforces the value and reinforces the brand. People know that we have their backs. And that's been something that is probably been one of the most positive things out of the gate with our service. There's other items as well. Tons to go into, tons that I'm happy to show you personally if you're interested in the service. But like I said, you can email me. We will get you your installation at no charge, kick the tires, try it out, experience what your clients would experience. And then I can also give you a preview of what's coming Tuesday with the sign-up form. And where you'll be able to go ahead, pick the services, the marketing services, the technology partner network, if you want that geographic exclusivity, and then we're off and running and you're good to go. And you can just, if you want to just sign up as a simple affiliate, it's very inexpensive to do so. I mean, it's ridiculously inexpensive, and it will pay for itself in no time. However you want to get it out there, whether you want to blast mail it, call your clients, or have us create some marketing collateral around it.
That sounds excellent. So everyone should be writing down a.reeves at ShieldIQ.com. Reach out to Alan Woody Reeves and his team. They put on an excellent show with Shield IQ here. So I'm really excited. We've got a lot of people, Alan, who have expressed interest in the comments after everything we've went over today. So I think you're going to get some emails here. I know I'm excited about the opportunity. So
Great. Fantastic.
So what's next on the roadmap?
Next on the roadmap is a lot. One thing that I can tell you is we're already working on a mobile app for it. I mean, you've got to have it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, eventually, if you're not working on it, you're doing something wrong. We did get two-factor authentication for end users solidified just over a month ago, not long after our last show. That's in place. We are right now, there's actually a page that I provide. There's a link that I provide to affiliates. And keep in mind, we've only had some people testing the platform, but it's a feature request page. And some of the takeaways from that are adding additional family members above the existing caps, adding additional numbers of credit and debit cards to monitor, adding additional PII essentially to the platforms, to the individual family packs. We're also constantly looking at adding new features to the platform. And one of the features that we have that not many others do is the sex offender database query feature. That's one thing that is really quite cool, because when you sign up, you put your home address in there. If a sex offender moves within 2.5 miles of that address, you're going to get an alert. Now
I've got several, Alan, just to, you know,
I have too.
Map, you get a little bit of anxiety. It looks like chicken pox, depending on where you live.
Well, think about this though, folks. If you service consumers, if you service residential, and even if you are B2B, we've got something for you. But look at the value that you're adding. I mean, 24/7, you are providing that protection. You're letting your clients know, hey, sex offender just moved into your neighborhood. They're living here. They can log into the portal. They can get a picture of the person, see what they were convicted of, get their exact address. Now, imagine taking that to your local chamber and saying, look what I can bring you. Look what I can bring our chamber members. Look what I can do for this community. I know what I wanted this to be. I want the IT company to be set up to be the hero. I want you to be set up to be the authority. I want you to make money with us making money. So that's how this whole thing is being constructed. And there's so much more behind the curtain that we're building and that we're doing and that we're looking at doing and construct. I mean, it's endless. I could go on and on, but obviously you need to sign up for more. And just let me know so I can give you the service. And then Tuesday, we're going to crank it up and let you sign up for whatever you wish. But Scott, you got your place in Columbia, South Carolina. I promise you that.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Well, I really appreciate y'all taking the time to go over, you know, the exciting changes. Was it back in December that we spoke?
It was. Yeah.
Okay.
December.
God, I don't know about y'all, but it seems like the new year is just really taking off fast. Everything's just go, go, go. So that's good. Time's flying and we're having fun. So
that we are.
Alan, Nathan, and Cheryl, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. Any last parting words for the audience?
No, for those that have been on, I really appreciate it. Please reach out to me. Anything you put in the comments board, just fire it off. I'll answer anything and everything I can. I'll bend over backwards to get you started with us, and I can't wait to get it going. That's
perfect. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of your day. And again, that email is a.reeves@shieldiq.com. So we'll see you. Thanks. Bye-bye.